Video games really make you work hard for some of the content. They put it behind a wall, behind a door, behind various criteria you have to fulfill. And sometimes when you get it, you're like, whoa, I don't know what to make of this. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 unlocks that made us really uncomfortable. Starting off with number 10, it's Red Dead Redemption's Manifest Destiny. The original Red Dead deals heavily in the themes of change and advancement. You start the game off on horseback using classic Wild Wild West weapons, wiki wild, but by the end, you've got an automatic pistol and you're getting carted around in a newfangled automobile. The Old West is soon going to be gone for good, the game says, and what's coming to replace it isn't necessarily going to be better. The game deals with these heady themes in many ways, one of which is really only applicable to achievement hunters. See, in the final area of Red Dead, you can see some rare wild buffalo around, but there's only about 20 in total, and if they die, they're gone for good. They never respawn. If you kill all of them, then it unlocks the Manifest Destiny achievement. You get an achievement for literally wiping out all the buffalo in the game world. These things aren't doing anything to you. They're just minding their own business, and here you come along killing everything you see. Most players aren't even going to bother with the buffalo at this point in the game. It's not like you need the food like in Red Dead 2. So this achievement really is just there to make getting all the achievements super uncomfortable. Some players are so disturbed by the implications that they made sure to save before killing the last buffalo just to spare themselves the guilt of wiping out an entire species. Obviously, it's just a game. None of this is real. You're not morally responsible for anything you do in an open world game. I mean, otherwise, that says a lot about a lot of people that frankly doesn't play out as true. But this one in particular is just uncomfortable enough for most people, especially animal lovers, that they struggle with it. At number 9 is Batman Arkham Asylum's Emptiness. There's a lot of different kinds of uncomfortable, from the morally dubious to the awkwardly explicit to something a little more abstract, like this one. After you beat Arkham Asylum, you unlock the ability to return to the asylum and get all the remaining Riddler trophies, which is handy for somebody looking to 100% the game. But there's something a little off about the place when you come back. It's completely empty. There's no guards, no prisoners, no ambient chatter whatsoever. It's silent, like the grave, the entire time. It's something a lot of players maybe barely did notice it, but if you did notice it, it gets pretty uncomfortable. In all the later games, there's still enemies around. Even there's new dialogue to acknowledge the ending. But in Asylum, the place is just cleared out and empty. All the carnage, the constant action is gone, replaced by what feels like an empty multiplayer map or something. It gives you the same feeling where you're wandering around a place where lots of stuff is supposed to be happening, but there's nothing. Kind of like a liminal space, but even weirder because it's not typically a liminal space. Like, it's usually in a live space, but instead it's just silence. And for a certain type of gamer, that's very eerie. At number 8 is Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza of Hawaii, which I still love saying the name of that game. That last one was existential. This one's just plain embarrassing. This Yakuza spin-off has some of the weirdest side quests of the entire series, and this one in particular is a standout for just how insane and honestly uncomfortable it seriously is. The thing you unlock, the new crew member named Russell, with the mediocre stats, is practically an afterthought, but you do unlock something for completing this side story, so it's fair game. The quest in question is sub-story 14, Goro's Heart. It starts when this scientist-looking guy approaches Majima in Honolulu asking if he wants to test this amazing new technology the guy invented that lets you talk to animals. Yes, this is seriously a quest in a Yakuza game that is, yes, seriously canon. Of course, you agree, and it actually seems to work. Goro, the tiger cub that's been following you around, can suddenly speak. And what starts off as a charming little conversation suddenly goes to some weird directions.
Just, if you're not dating anyone at the moment, then...
Yeah?
Well, the thing is, ever since we met, I've had these feelings for you.
Inexplicably, this sequence suddenly becomes a dating minigame where Goro, which I need to stress here is a talking tiger, flirts with you, and you need to say the right things to keep them happy, up to and including buying expensive DLC packs for the Talking Animal app. It is both utterly bizarre and extremely uncomfortable. I was not mentally prepared to stave off the advances of a realistic talking tiger at any point during this narrative. To make matters worse, or better, depending on who's asking, the guy behind the technology, Russell, is actually the one doing the voice. He's just trying to scam money out of you. And yeah, it's weird. Knowing some gangly creep's doing a baby voice at you, pretending to be an animal that's in love with you, it's a certain kind of thing. The whole scenario is so awkward and bizarre, it manages to be hilarious, rather than just a black hole of cringe. But it barely makes it. And number 7 is Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. The achievement here is earned by getting the bad ending of the game, which, as you'd expect for a Bloodborne-inspired horror action that dips its toes in uncomfortable levels of horniness, things get a little awkward. You really do have to go out of your way to unlock this one, explicitly choosing the worst options possible when talking to other characters. Basically, you have to agree that the obviously evil lady is fine, like not a problem, and just refuse to help the good guys at any point. Considering it's one of those Souls-likes with a vague plot where you don't really know what's going on half the time, it's fair to assume that picking seemingly contradictory dialogue options won't matter, but in this case it does, because if you make the wrong choices, you're locking into an ending that isn't just kind of uncomfortable to watch. It also ends the game pretty early. You miss out on the entire final area, in fact, so basically it's a sucky ending all around, and it's not one of those fun bad endings like a lot of other Souls-likes have. It's just bad. If all the pieces are in place, you go and fight the Bo Magus boss. Then you automatically get the successor of the bow ending, where Wu Chang grabs the Magus' staff and, well, I don't know what's happening. A bunch of mystery hands start appearing around her, and that's... it's weird. As usual for these kinds of games, I don't know what it's representing. Is she getting possessed by the spirits of the bow people or what? The visuals are a little sketchy, though. Doesn't go too far, per se, but it's right on the edge. Right on the edge. And number 6 is Kingdom Come 2, Overkill. This achievement's simple, direct, and to the point. You pulverized a rabbit with a gunshot. That's the achievement. To unlock it, you need to find a happy, harmless little bunny rabbit out in the wild, and then explode it to appease the achievement gods. There is no other reason to be blasting rabbits with guns, which I want to be clear here are not your standard firearms from today. They're more like portable cannons. Their aim is very bad, but getting shot by one of these things is devastating, as the charred remains of Thumper over here can attest. There's just something about this one that's uncomfortable in a way that normal animal hunting isn't. Hunting rabbits with a bow and arrow doesn't feel all that bad, at least for most people, but this achievement takes things a little further. It's entirely pointless, literally overkill, and the only reason anyone's doing it is because it's an achievement. It's the difference between shooting a bad guy in combat and, I don't know, firing a howitzer at an innocent, I don't want to say man, because a man, I mean, he's probably done something bad throughout his life. A rabbit has not. Rabbits don't even know what bad is. It's completely over the top, completely without merit, entirely. And number 5 is Oddworld, the Guardian Angel. A weird one, but synonym for odd. The original Oddworld game on the PlayStation 1, if you got the good ending by rescuing all the 99 Mudokons, then you'd unlock this extremely weird and uncomfortable video called Guardian Angel. The uncomfortable part, pretty self-explanatory. It's a little movie of a creepy thing with a video monitor face and a robot torture army things looming over Abe, main character of the game, while flashing video of gameplay where Abe gets killed over and over and shouting at him while Abe cries, "Help me."
You need to look within if you wanna be free.
As an adult, this is weird. As a kid, this was nightmare-inducing. This is the reward you get for the good ending. It's creepier than what happens with the bad ending. In the bad ending, they drop Abe into a meat grinder. That's, less weird. Maybe worse. Apparently this was meant to be a commercial for the game, which would have been absolutely nuts. I respect the attempt to traumatize an entire generation, but there was no way anybody was going to air this thing on primetime TV. It was way too creepy for that. I'm glad they at least let us watch it in the game, even if it's pretty unpleasant. It does at least introduce yet another nightmare to the Oddworld universe. You can't really go wrong with more weird crap in these games. At number 4 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, The Hand. You know, when people say give me a hand, they don't mean this. You unlock it for completing story mode on normal, and yes, it is what you think it is. It's a disembodied hand on a skateboard. Big ol' anthropomorphic hand creature. It's already some kind of phobia for people, but when you get this thing with its bloody stump and bones sticking out with all the shredded flesh jiggling in the wind, not nice. The hand part is weird enough, but the wiggling open wound is what makes it so uncomfortable. Sure, an unlockable Shrek is its own kind of horror, but the hand is a whole other level of disturbing. Like, it's kind of a tech deck reference, maybe a bit, but also, I've never had my hand severed to play with a tech deck. Moving on to number 3, it's Silent Hill 3's New Game Plus surprise. This can be a creepy game, but the horrors of Silent Hill cannot compare to the terror that is a middle-aged guy in his boxers. After beating this game, you unlock the ability to input the classic Konami code, you know, up, down, left, right, BA, start, just with a PlayStation controller, and while it might not seem like it does anything at first, you'll soon know the true nightmare of Silent Hill 3. It's the private detective Douglas, only he's stripped down to his underwear. It's pretty funny, but it's also pretty uncomfortable.
My name is Douglas Cartland. I'm a detective.
A detective? Really? Well, nice talking to you.
I mean, the character you play as a teenage girl here, and while Douglas isn't like super exposed or anything, the trench coat and hat make him look like an old school flasher, which is both kind of funny and, again, a little uncomfortable. It's Silent Hill, though. Being a little weirded out is just part of it.
There's someone that wants to meet you. Just let me have an hour. No, half an hour of your time.
My daddy always told me not to talk to strangers.
And number 2 is Infamous 2, Forging Your Own Path. This is the achievement you get for taking the evil route in Infamous 2, which usually in these types of games isn't really that big of a deal. I mean, sure, you tend to do some evil stuff, but it usually doesn't matter all that much. But in this game, if you go the evil route, then your best buddy Zeke tries to stop you. All they had to do is make an evil ending that actually has some weight, is to put in a character that people might actually care about and force you to kill him. And hey, that's what this game does. It both makes the evil route worth experiencing at least once, because the story is, if anything, actually a little more interesting this way, but also because it's legitimately uncomfortable. Players don't want to kill Zeke. He's a likable guy in Infamous 2, and it's very tempting to get back on the good path when it becomes clear that going all in on being the bad guy is going to make him turn on you. For some players, killing Zeke is the toughest thing they've been forced to do in a game, and part of that comes down to it being your choice. It's not something forced on you by the game. It's something you decide to do and then follow through on for a whole game, basically. That's what makes this choice so profoundly uncomfortable. Usually in games, being evil is pretty abstracted. Like, you kill faceless NPCs and do bad things off screen. Most of the time, being a bad guy is just being the opposite of the good guy, making different choices. You choose to play Sith instead of Jedi. But in Infamous 2, oh, they make you feel it. A likable character goes against you, and you gotta put him down like a dog. Like Old Yeller. In fact, it's a lot like Old Yeller. Except for he didn't have rabies, you had rabies. And that's why you put him down, you rabid jerk.
I gotta try. I know.
Cheers, brother.
Screwed you over pretty hard back in Empire. Get it, huh? No. You've always got my back. Thank you. Look, I don't call you brother because I like the way it sounds.
And finally, at number 1, it's South Park: The Stick of Truth perverted. I've been putting a lot of qualifiers on this list, saying stuff like it could make you uncomfortable, or this might bother you if you're sensitive, that kind of thing. You know, because nothing bothers me. No, that's not why. I just assume that there's people out there that are just completely immune to cringe, gross, weird, uncomfortable, awkward. Like they have to exist, right? They're the coolest people to live, or possibly the worst. But anyway, I don't care who you are, this one's gonna be uncomfortable. To get this trophy, you have to, and I quote, watch your parents make love for 60 seconds. That is a real achievement in a video game. Don't worry, they're not your real parents, thankfully. Don't think I could do that for a video game. You know, I don't think I could do that for a lot of real life achievements, honestly. But it's just video game parents. Doesn't make it, not awkward. It is awkward. It is very strange. It's very weird. You have to sit there while South Park paper puppet people have sex for 60 seconds. Maybe more if the achievement doesn't pop. And you know how achievements are. It's weird even for a South Park game, honestly. I know their goal is to push things as far as possible, but did anybody really need to see this? Let alone for a full minute? No, they didn't. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time, right here on GameRanx.